last week, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State gave a 7-day ultimatum for herders to vacate the forest reserves of the state, and he gave reasons for that. Part of a statement from Governor Akeredolu was captured in series of tweets on his Twitter handle, which, of course, I will show you right now. He says the root cause of kidnapping in particular and other nefarious activities detailed and documented in security reports, the press, and the briefings from victims of kidnap cases in Ondo State are traceable to the activities of some bad elements masquerading as herdsmen. These felons, according to Governor Akeredolu, have turned the forest reserves into hideouts for keeping victims of kidnapping, negotiating for ransom, and carrying out other criminal activities. These are some of the tweets there from Governor Akeredolu. It was a week ago that he tweeted some of those statements, which eventually culminated into what was perceived as an eviction notice to herders in the forest of Ondo State, where the presidency reacted to Governor Akeredolu's statement. The president said, and I quote, "We want to make it clear that kidnapping, banditry, and rustling are crimes, no matter the motive of or who is involved. But to define crime from the nameplate, as a number of commentators have erroneously done, which group they belong to, the language they speak, their geographical location, or their faith, is atavistic and cruel. We need to delink terrorism and crimes from ethnicity, geographical origins, and religion to isolate the criminals who use these interchange of arguments to hinder law enforcement efforts as the only way to deal effectively with them." End of quote. That's a statement from the presidency, Mr. Garba Shehu, the media person aide of the president. So today is the deadline of the ultimatum given by Governor Akeredolu for the vacation of those forests by the herders, which are now termed as some of them who are illegally operating in those forests. But some interventions have come, because between the time Governor Akeredolu made the statement and a few days ago, some other issues have come up. For example, in Oyo State, we heard what has happened and what has developed in that state regarding the relationship with herders and the local communities there. Tension erupted. Governors from Southwest and some of their colleagues in the North met with some leaders of herders today in Akure, the Ondo State capital, and here is their position, which was communicated by the chairman of the Governors Forum, Mr. Kayode Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State. Take a listen to him.
The order of the Ondo State governor was misconstrued and misrepresented by the media, and that he only ordered those occupying the forest reserve in Ondo State illegally to quit, not Fulani herdsmen to vacate the state. That criminals should be apprehended and punished, no matter their origin, class, or status. That security agencies have been trying their best to stem the tide of criminality in the country, but they must step up their efforts in this fight.
So tonight, we're looking at a series of issues. It does look like a fire we were not able to put out when these issues, herders and farmers clash and local communities come up every time. You've heard about Ruga. You heard about the livestock protection program by the federal government. From the powers of the governors, the issue of farmer-herders clashes, security situation in the country, what are the solutions to these problems? I have joining me tonight to look at some of the issues that have come up today and the solutions. Two lawyers, Mr. G.T. Ogunye here in Lagos studio and Mr. Aliyu Lemu in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. We didn't think that it was going to be early, fast enough that we're going to have you again. You were here on Friday, but I understand that some of the knowledge that you have about and the perspective that you share about this issue was one of the reasons why we had to invite you again. But let me get the view of Mr. Aliyu Lemu in our Abuja studio. Mr. Lemu, let me get your reaction to the outcome of today's meeting. Tell me your perspective of the resolution or the communique that was read out by Governor Fayemi today. Are you satisfied with it?
Thank you very much, Sean, for having me on the program this evening. Yes, I am satisfied by the statement just read out by the governor of Ekiti State, Governor Kayode Fayemi. It is in line and in tandem with the statement issued by the presidency, ordered by Garba Shehu. Yes, the statement credited to Governor of Ondo State, Governor Akeredolu, was to the effect that he gave eviction notice to the Fulanis, and that was capable of stoking ethnic tensions across the country. But thankfully, this statement today has come out to vindicate what the presidency has said and to set the record straight and to douse whatever tensions might have been stoked by the report of what Governor Akeredolu said last week. So it's a welcome development and a step in the right direction.
Mr. Ogunye, what's your reaction to what came out of that meeting today?
It's largely satisfactory because it reinforces the power of the governor to make the declaration he made, which generated the needless furore and the unfortunate statement made by the Mr. Garba Shehu in the name of the presidency, which was a knee-jerk reaction, impulsive and spontaneous needlessly. Now the media is now taking the blame. The declaration that was made by the governor was written in English language. It was clear. Those who are occupying the forest reserve illegally, without permit, should leave, including herders who are hibernating in the forest. What Garba Shehu merely did was to claim those herders. And then on that basis, he started lecturing the governor, telling him he was a son, a senior advocate of Nigeria, a senior lawyer, he should know the rule of law. What kind of condescending statement was that? Indeed, the presidency generated the controversy, which was needless. And then, after it had blown up, then there was rapprochement and all that, and then which culminated in that meeting. So if you needed consultation, there were channels, they were members of the same party, and we're talking about government. There are channels of communication.
In the eye of the law, Mr. Ogunye, does a governor have the power to give an eviction notice in any part of the state or any part of the country, for that matter?
Regarding that forest reserve, he has. He has abundant powers to do that.
Under which part of the country?
Forestry law of the state. There's a forestry law, Cap 56, Volume 2, 2006 laws of Ondo State. He has that power to make regulations under Section 40 of that law.
Including eviction.
Including eviction, including arrest, including prosecution.
Must you be permitted legally to operate as a herder in any part of the country?
It's not in any part of the country. If you criminally trespass onto a forest reserve, you are liable to be arrested and prosecuted under that law. All right. It's not a recent law.
These are some of the issues, and that's why it's interesting that we have two lawyers here tonight, and we're going to be breaking it down. And the reason is because this is an issue that comes up now and time again. And so we'll break it down. Stay with us, everyone. When we come back, we look deeper into these issues that have come up every time in this country. Join us again, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a matter of security, especially as relates to herders and farmers' relationship and what has become a major factor in the southwest region of the country when Governor Akeredolu said illegal herders should leave the forest of the state. It's generated a lot of controversy. Your state is also under tension because of what has become a clash between local communities and herders there. Mr. G.T. Ogunye, a lawyer, and Mr. Ali Ulemu in our Abuja studio. Both of them are giving insight into what the issues are. You remember Aruga. You remember the livestock protection program by the government. So these are issues of the past. And now we are finding ourselves in this matter again. It does look like a fire that was not well put out. What are the solutions? And that's what we're discussing. Let's get back to it. And let me ask Mr. Lemu in our Abuja studio. Mr. Lemu, as a lawyer, you heard what Mr. Ogunye said as regarding the statement of Mr. Garba Shehu and the presidency and the position in countering what Governor Akeredolu said. What's your view on the presidency's stance?
Before I get to my view on the presidency stand, I would like to respectfully disagree with Mr. Ogunye. The governor of Ondo State has no power to issue eviction notice to any ethnic group, to any set of Nigerians, be they Fulani herdsmen, Igbo tradesmen, or whatever nomenclature those Nigerians are designated. There is a thread that holds our democracy together, which is the very foundation of the democracy we practice in Nigeria, and that is the 1999 Constitution. It guarantees basic and minimum human rights. Section 41 of the 1999 Constitution provides that each and every Nigerian is free to live and practice his trade anywhere in Nigeria without permission. Section 42 prevents discrimination of any Nigerian on the basis of ethnic group, religion, tribe, or trade. Section 1, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution provides any law which is inconsistent with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution shall, to the extent of its inconsistency, be declared void. The Ondo State Forestry Law, insofar as it specifically targets a particular ethnic group, a particular trade group, seems to be in direct opposition to the provisions of the 1999 Constitution, which provide that Nigerians can live freely anywhere in the country without restriction, registration, or permission. In the said law, I have
so
not
apologies to butt
into
into that line of thought, and we need to clarify because you're a lawyer, and arguments made by lawyers upon the stance of the law and the Constitution, sometimes we needed to to get clarification. So when you say illegal herders, from what the position you have pushed forward today, does the law back the term illegal herders? Could anything be termed illegal herders from what you've said?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't recall mentioning illegal herders. Herdmen, be they Fulani, Hausa, Igbo, or by whatever tribe, they have the right to ply their trade anywhere in Nigeria and do not require permission from the governor of any state or from any minister or the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a minimum guaranteed right by the Constitution, which cannot be taken by anybody.
So in the eye of the law, from your standpoint, Mr. Lemu, what the governor said, asking those who are masquerading according to the statement, masquerading as herders in the forest, who, according to him, briefings and outcome of report has shown that these people hibernate in the forest. The position of the governor, according to you, is it right or wrong?
If there are criminals in the forest, whatever tribe they are, whatever trade they ply, insofar as they commit crimes, they should be held accountable for their crimes. But you don't put a particular ethnic group or a particular trade group. You don't tar them with a single brush and refer to all of them as criminal or illegal herdsmen. If there is a registration, if there is a requirement that within a particular forest reserve, anybody who plies his trade there as a herdsman, as a hunter, as a farmer, if there's a requirement that such persons who ply their trade within a particular area designated as a forestry reserve, if registration is a requirement, then that requirement should be applied across board and not single out to a particular trade group or a particular ethnic group or a particular religious group. That is my stand.
Let me allow Mr. Ogunye to, he countered. He said, from the argument that you gave, he countered it. What's your reaction to it?
With profound respect to him, his argument is grossly misconceived. He's not read the forestry law. That law was a validly made law. Section 42 of that law lists acts that are prohibited in the forest, including paragraph E of that law that specifically prohibits pasturing cattle or taking cattle into the forest and trespassing the grounds of the forest. And anybody that does that is liable on a summary conviction to be fined or to a prison term of 5 years, or both. That's the law. The section referred to in the Constitution and the one that is not referred to are well known. Section 43 allows every Nigerian to acquire property in any part of the country. Section 41 of the Constitution allows the right to freedom of movement. Section 15 of the Constitution guarantees residency rights all over the country. But I would just ask him, since he's in Abuja, can anybody in that Abuja, be he a cocoa farmer, be he any trader, go into the presidency and start planting cocoa there or planting kola nut there? Because, you know, you have the right to freedom of movement, you know. You have the right to go anywhere. That is not the law. The law is being turned upside down here. The point is that there are reserves, there are forest reserves that are regulated by law. At the state level, local government level, communal level, you have reserves. This is provided by that law. And so anybody that goes in there, including farming, it's not just herding that is prohibited there. Farming, if you dig, if you kindle fire, if you set structures there, if you do anything without the permit of the authority, you can be arrested without a warrant and then be summarily prosecuted. So nobody is saying that people don't have the right to freedom of movement. Indeed, if you stretch the argument of my learned friend to a ridiculous extent, you may then say that since you have the right to acquire property anywhere, you can build property anywhere in Lagos without a building permit. And that any physical planning law that requires you to get the permit is to the extent of its inconsistency with the Constitution, as it's arguing now, null and void. Of course, that would be ridiculous. Okay? So, they are the ones claiming that the governor has set out to persecute Fulani herdsmen. The governor never said that.
All right. I mean,
and that's why I said that statement was written in English.
I wish my producer can bring back the tweet. So in this conversation, as we round up the conversation, so that Nigerians can see the statement of the governor, what is said, what the government put out there, and make a comparison with what is said to have been misconstrued. Let me get to your final thoughts, and perhaps let's do this in 30 seconds each. Where do we go from here, Mr. Lemu? Let me allow you to shoot. Where do we go from here? The position of the governor of Ondo State, what is happening in Oyo State, what we have seen in the past, herders and farmers clash. How do we resolve it in 30 seconds, Mr. Lemu?
Okay. My parting shot will be, at this point in the year, last year was a terrible year, coronavirus and all that. We do not need statements or policies that cause division within the polity. We can only move forward and make progress and find solutions to our myriad of problems by working together and promoting unity. The use of the word eviction, when you say you evict a particular set of persons, a particular ethnic group, a particular trade group, the word eviction itself is a word that is offensive. The validity of the law, which is not subject here, which is not the subject of discussion here.
Let's allow Mr. G.T. Ogunye with his 30 seconds final statement.
Insecurity in Nigeria has become an existential issue for everyone. You know, don't say they're kidnapping people there every day. Some people cannot go to their homes. Many people in Nigeria now, including lawyers, cannot practice to where they have to travel by roads, except it's a port city where they can drop and then, you know, fly back. So it's an existential issue. There are parts of the country, though, where people, senators, legislators, local government officials, including local government officials in Borno State, cannot go to their localities. We know that it's that bad in those areas. But what we say is that there must be synergy. and there must be cooperation across government to ensure that lives and property are secure. Because the welfare and security of the people is the primary purpose of government, so declares the Constitution. Without this, government exists in vain.
Mr. G.T. Ogunye and Mr. Aliyu Lemu, I must sincerely thank both of you. There are some portions of the law which I've highlighted here, which I would have loved that we'll put on the screen so our viewers can get their constitution with the experience of the lawyers that we have on the show today. But time will not permit us to do that. Maybe we can continue on that matter tomorrow. Well, many thanks, everyone, for watching. And that's our show for today. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.